it's doing more, but trying to keep the heart of what we're doing alive. And I think from the beer side of the business, the brewing side of the business, we would just like to essentially grow our stable of Wolfpack beers and get them into the right places so people can interact with it, and people can understand what we're all about. Again, this view of bringing lager and craft lager back into the mainstream is a big play for us. There are a lot of people doing it. It's doing it differently, and on that side, there's a lot of motivation behind proving that we can create a world-class brand that is actually relevant to people, and that relates to people, and they look at our what we're doing in our business and go, yeah, that's something I'd like to be a part of. I want to join the Wolfpack. That's one arm, and then we've got kind of two bars and a third opening soon. And that part of the business is about driving community engagement around our beer as well. So come have a real experience, rather than buying a can of beer from Tesco. Like get involved, get around people, have some conversation.
Sure.
And that's the heart of it. So it's togetherness at the core of what we do.
Did you always plan on having venues, or was that a secondary situation because you were pouring quite well?
Yeah, no, secondary completely. Like we developed all our own recipes. We own our brands, obviously, and then very early on we decided to contract out the brewing of our beer. So we don't actually own a physical brewery.
Sure.
We just own the means of kind of production, if you like. But we realized very quickly that we still wanted a place to be able to tell a story. I think bricks and mortar is a very important part of any brand.
Yeah.
So we needed a home. We needed a place to come and do things like this, to sit with people, to talk to people, to give people an experience behind just what a beer is. Because ultimately, I think the experience is something that sells a product rather than just the intrinsic of the actual product itself.
Yeah, that tangible experience is definitely the case. Has it surprised you how tough hospitality is?
Well, I mean, the place we're sitting in now was a mechanic's garage for 50 years.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, just buy a garage and we'll do a bit of this and that, put a bar in.
You bought it blind without any planning?
Yeah, we just bought it and we were like, we'll just transfer the light. They're like, you don't need an A4 license to run a bar. We're like, what is it at the moment?
So you potentially could be sitting on an empty plot right now if things didn't go that way.
Yeah, but the space was dire. There were like, in this upstairs section, there were car parts up here that had been like hoarded, that had been out of production. The cars have been out of production for like 30 years. And we were like, no, just get rid of the stuff and we'll pour some beers and it'll be a bit of fun. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, we were right. It was a hell of a lot of fun, but it wasn't easy. So we surrounded ourselves with very good people, and I think we've always been really good at knowing what we're good at and also having enough self-awareness to know what we're really bad at.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we're really bad at. And kind of just through trial and error and I guess a bit of blood, sweat and tears.
Sure.
Yeah, we managed to make it work, and we're very excited about the pub/bar side of our business.
Well, it's very exciting, isn't it, to be involved in, like you said, something where you see people socialising and when this place is really busy, you get quite a kick out of it.
Massively. Hospitality is epic. I mean, it's for me, it's just the most exhilarating industry to be in, because you get to see people experiencing the things that you've built. You know what I mean? You're not selling a strategy or a plan or an accounting, but an accountancy software. You see people get their pints and you see their reaction and you see people having fun around what you've created. And that's probably the most rewarding part of it, I think.
Just on that, I mean, first of all, I totally agree with you. Actually, I worked in nightclubs for a while myself, and when you put together an evening where people are having a great time, you see that crowd and you almost feel that atmosphere. It really is. It's quite hard to describe, but it's a great feeling. And would you mind touching on your feeling about the situation at the moment with the hospitality industry and COVID? I struggle with it. I think that there's a lot better ways it could be done. I think surely, just like we've sort of emphasised, the social element is so important to people's humanity. What's your general view on it, and would you be willing to expand on it?
Yeah, I'll try. I mean, I've been through a bit of a roller coaster of emotions and also of opinions as well. And the one thing that I think I've settled on is that whatever we think we know now, we're wrong. You know what I mean? We've all got first of all, we've all become, we didn't even know what the word meant 6 months ago, but now everyone's an epidemiologist, you know what I mean? And everyone's a statistician, and everyone says, look at this insight, look at this data, and everyone's got their own agenda to back. And you can look at both sides of the story, lockdown, anti-lockdown, whatever, add a myriad of other options in there, herd immunity and all the rest of it. And you can probably put together quite a cohesive argument around why you're right. I think in 5 years' time, we'll look back and go, we're all wrong. What I do know is that if you sink businesses and if you don't give them an opportunity to operate and you close them down, you obviously it leads to massive economic decline, which we're seeing, and in the long term, huge amounts of poverty, huge amounts of pain and heartache. Now, I don't have the answer. I'm not purporting to have the answer either, but I just know that the answer can't be lock everything down for the foreseeable future, and hope that the virus goes away and that business just picks up again. That's not how it works. So it's a very scary time for all of us. And from a hospitality perspective, I think we're the third biggest provider of employment in the country.
Yep.
And obviously we're taking a beating. And there's some philosophical conversations that I won't even enter into when you go, well, the cost of saving one life versus saving 1 million jobs. Well, maybe that's balanced. Maybe that we should be doing that. But at the moment, all we know is that in 6 months' time, the hospitality industry will be changed forever, and we have to, and only then will we be able to figure out whether the decisions we've made now have been right or wrong. But there's no doubt that they're very difficult.
Are you optimistic though, in the sense if things do go back to normal within a reasonable time frame? And I guess that's the big question, right? Is what is the reasonable time frame?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm optimistic for our business. We'll get through this, and so will the good operators. But I think the industry is also made up of thousands of small, local kind of community places, and that are not necessarily, they don't have the same plan as us. We want to grow. We want to be massive. We want to be everywhere, and we've got we've got time and energy and passion on our side. A lot of people are very happy to own a little pub, little restaurant, little takeaway shop, little off license, and that pays the bills every single month. So you close those down. I mean, it doesn't mean the industry's dead, but those people are out of a job and they're out of a livelihood.
Well, for me, it definitely decimates a good 20 to 30% of the overall industry.
Yeah, you look, pick a number, right?
Yeah.
That sounds.
That
like
would be the minimum in my
opinion.
opinion. And then what happens to those people?
Yeah, what happens to those people? Look, in terms of the industry, I truly believe that, again, back down to the heart and soul of it is like an anecdote from the Wolfpack bar here is we're on a commercial road, so there's businesses either side of us that are closed down during the weekends, and when we opened for takeaway, we couldn't believe how many people came out for beer in a plastic cup, and they'd kind of linger around the pavement for half an hour because they just wanted to be around people.
Sure.
And I think that is true of society. Like what has been taken away from us during lockdown? Well, yeah, we can still access the basic basic needs, but we can't be with the people that we love. We can't be around people that love, like. Can't even be around people that we dislike. We can't be around people, it's like that is a human need that doesn't get spoken about. Like we need that interaction to keep us going.
And like you said, we can go to the philosophies of it all day. But what is like you said, that being around people, there's so much detrimental values to people's mental health from that point of view as well.
What's the opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
Of all this, and no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
Certainly in the mainstream.
Yeah.
We just look at infection rates, hospital rates, deaths.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that we need to throw into the conversation is, okay, well,
what's the trade-off?
What's the trade-off?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. What are the
and I think people are in these environments talking about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is so interesting.
But we don't have, as they call about the science. And like, as far as I'm concerned, we're not following the science. That's such a broad term. We're following specific pieces of data that are used to justify one part of an argument. But science is not data, right? Science is how you use that data, right? And to make decisions. So if that kind of makes sense.
No,
we get graphs. We look at graphs all day. We go, what is that? Oh no, it looks like it's going like that. They must be right.
What's the human effect? What's the human connection to that number? I guess is the point.